Stories always appeals to us. The art of storytelling is from the beginning of evolution. We were exposed to the stories by our teachers, by our parents, by our family members, by our peers, siblings, and now technology when we were growing up. Remember that whenever we travel to any place of importance or just like that on a vacation, or we are visiting any forts or any building of importance, we always try to find out a story behind that place, a story that we can connect to those forts and those buildings. That's because whenever we find a story attached to that particular inanimate object, it becomes our own. We become a part of the people. It can be stories of war or love stories or the horrible spooky ones or the stories of killings and the treacheries. They all attract to us. Those stories, they remain etched in our mind. So whenever we come back from our vacations, the stories stay with us and they remain with us forever as memories. So today I'm going to talk about one of my favorite topics, that is storytelling, and we are also going to discuss about why storytelling is so important and how the animated studios, they use this art of storytelling to produce beautiful animated movies. And we are also going to discuss about why storytelling is becoming so important in this age of doing business, sales, and creating a brand. And as a bonus, I would also tell you how you can become an excellent storyteller. Also, there will be timestamps given at the description box below. So anytime if you want to skip to any part, you can do so. But I would highly recommend you to watch the video till the end so that you can take the maximum advantage of this video. And with that, let's get into it. Stories which attract to us are the stories with emotions and connections. The entire industry of storytelling is based on the two most important factors, and that is emotions and connections. Also, every story needs to come from a place of empathy and not sympathy. When you connect authenticity with the truthfulness of the story, it makes you an excellent storyteller. You stand out from the crowd. Also, if you remember that there used to be pictures of grandma who used to tell stories to a bunch of children sitting around her, and they used to listen to her with wide eyes, with surprise and with amazement. Why? Because she was an excellent storyteller. Also, did you ever notice that whenever we watch any animated movies or cartoons, we become extremely happy? In fact, in our most bad days, or if we are in depression, it works on us. We tend to enjoy those movies which are meant for the children. The outstanding movies like Up, like Frozen, like Aladdin, like Lion King, The Jungle Book, they have stolen the hearts of millions and billions of people around the globe. Also, the Pixar movies animator Andrew Stanton and the storyteller Matthew Learn, they said in their TED Talks that people comes back to their movies again and again because of the stories that they tell. The stories which has the capacity to make your endorphins and your cortisols just go on a roller coaster ride and leaves you teary-eyed or with goosebumps. Animated studios are successful today because they sell feelings. They introduce the characters in such a way so as they speak the stories of their own, they share their personal lives in that way. And that is where they win our hearts. Storytelling has become immensely important nowadays in business and in sales. Richard Branson wrote in one of his blogs that you can use storytelling to drive change. You can put your points across and it can differentiate your brands from the others, and it can also help you to brainstorm new ideas for your company. Storytelling is as old as a campfire and as new as a tweet. Remember Christian Grey? who was interviewed by Anastasia Steele in 50 Shades when she asked him about the reason behind his success.
It's about people. And I've always been good at people. What motivates them, what incentivizes them, what inspires them.
Yes, it is. Great leaders, founders, and pioneers of businesses and companies, they not only use numbers and pie charts and infographics in their presentation, but they also use marvelous, magnificent, and excellent storytelling so as to energize their employees, to inspire them, to motivate them to do much better work than they do at present. Also, they use the same tactics for their advertisements. They create awareness among the people and they gain the trust of the people over the years, which in turn makes them into multi-million or billion-dollar businesses. If you observe the advertisements of Airbnb, Coca-Cola, Nike, Adidas, or Dove, they all use their ad campaigns in such a way that it impacts the people and they evoke emotions and they also nudge them further to take an action. So, in the process of storytelling, they inspire people with their ad campaigns and they also resolve their needs and their wants. Recently, I came across a story that how Mr. Ratan Tata, he introduced this model of Nano to his members in a just single presentation with a single slide, a single pen and a single drawing. He just jotted down everything and he explained the target audience, the price constraints and the conflicts. And guess what? Nano was born. Remember the roller coaster ride that I told you a few moments before? Steve Jobs used to use the same tactics while launching his Apple products. He was a very good speaker and he used to speak from his heart, touched millions of people and resolved the pain points of the consumers. He always used to open his speech on the stage with a hook. For example, he said that how it would be like to have 1,000 songs in your pocket, or how it would be like to have a phone with multiple features like Wi-Fi connectivity, with music, with no buttons, and also with a bigger screen, and that too in a single device. He had an excellent oratory skill and he was also a marvelous storyteller. In today's world, when everything is digitized, the people's span of focus is this much. So if you need to connect to your customers, your content needs to be heart-touching, it needs to be authentic. And that is how you can survive the brutal world of business. Now the companies, they use their ad campaigns, they use the storytelling to inspire the people and they change the way they see those products and their services. For example, Nike is a brand which has its fair share of euphoric growths over the years and has also suffered a lot of public backlash. But they use it to their advantage. They use it as their USP. They are very much proud of the work that they do. Now they have a special storytelling workshop for the newbies. Now before this workshop used to last for only a single hour, but now it's a 2-day long induction that takes place. So they have combined the history with the heritage. Always remember that numbers and statistics, they matter, but not as much as the stories which revolve around these numbers. With that, I have come to the last segment of this video and I had promised you that I would tell you the tips on how to become an excellent storyteller. Well, for the first step, and that is quite obvious, that you have to read more stories and you have to learn that how the authors, they use words to evoke emotions and how they use some tips and tricks in their stories. Second is you have to listen intently to people. Only if you listen to people and only if you try to understand their emotions and be one with them, you can know about their personals and their moods. The third most important thing is that you need to know how to showcase your work to the world. And that is very easy in this era through your social media handles like on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Instagram. You need also to understand how to craft mechanisms, just like how you can use different types of moods and tones in your stories, and how to introduce the right characters in your stories. You can also learn how to storyboard. And last but not the least is that you need to have a good and a richer vocabulary. By that, I don't mean that you have to use hard words that nobody understands, because in that way you will lose your customers. Alrighty, right then, with that I have come to the end of this video. I have given the links of all the important tech talks and the podcast which I have listened to and I have watched, and I think that it can become very helpful to you if you want to dig deeper into the topics of storytelling. Also, if you have watched the video till the end and if you have liked it, then do hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, because that's completely free, and also hit that bell button, because every time you will be notified when I post a new video. So I'll see you next time. Keep learning, stay smart, stay strong.